I saw Lee Greenwood in concert one time.
Did you really?
Yeah, actually, he came to Greentown to the
No.
Performing Arts Center there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he did.
That's really cool.
He's so good. His voice is amazing.
I'll never forget learning this song in elementary school. They had like a record player that they'd wheel into the classroom, the music teacher, and this was one of them. I think I was in 3rd grade.
It's a great song.
Yeah, I remember singing this in concert in elementary school.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
It is. And good Friday morning. I'm trying to get through the weekend already. It is time for the first federal program on WROI. Joined in studio with Evan Gottschalk. And good morning.
Good morning, Paul. You don't pull Monday morning out just yet.
Yeah.
That's trouble enough on Monday morning.
Yeah, my brain says, hey, what weekend? No, it's Monday.
I was talking with our guest, Paula McKinney. She'll be joining us in a little bit yesterday, and we were talking about how nice the weekends are to get recharged these days with everything that's going on each weekday. They're full.
Yeah.
They're very full.
Especially if they're decent weather weekends.
That's what we need. So that's not what we're having this weekend, is it?
No.
Okay.
It's going to be cold.
Yeah, you're a lot
Talking flurries tomorrow.
kind of a lot of downers you're bringing to the table, or I should say to the mic this morning.
I know. I blame Adams. He started it.
Okay. Well, it is Mother's Day weekend, so maybe celebrating that more inside than outside, unfortunately, but it'll be on Sunday, of course. It's a great opportunity to thank your mother for all the sacrifices she's made to provide for you and bring you into the world.
Yeah. My mom always told me, you know what? Brought you into this world, I'll take you out of it too.
Mothers have that sway over us that they always have that with the look they can give you. Just dial it right in.
Oh, I know.
You know what the intent is.
Uh-huh. And if it's the full name, run.
Well, it's fun when Mother's Day comes around and get an opportunity to, sometimes as guys we don't always communicate the best. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, Tanner.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a day where you can kind of share your thoughts a little bit more and really support your mom. Hey, we were excited last Friday when Governor Holcomb released the Indiana Back on Track plan.
Yes, I know.
The fact that came out was good news because that kind of means maybe things haven't progressed, or I think there were a few guidelines that needed to be met to be able to kick that off. So really encouraging, and of course we're cross our fingers, say some prayers that the trends continue there, and we can kind of hit those dates. I think there's a few different phases that would allow for things to open up at different percentage capacity, and I think that's just the shot in the arm we needed. So hopefully we can continue staying a little bit separate and being safe, and things can keep progressing. That would be great for our sanity and great for the economy too.
Absolutely.
I mentioned earlier we're going to be joined, our guest this morning is Paula McKinney, the Vice President of Patient Services at Woodlawn Hospital, and she's going to come talk to us about, we were thinking about this week with National Nurses Week and Hospital Week, and they're doing some special things in our community at Woodlawn, and it'll be neat to get an update from her on all the goings on and the great people that are doing great work for us there. We're so lucky to have a hospital here in Fulton County. Our trivia this morning is related to that, and I'm covering up the answer, Paul, so don't even try. What percent of nurses are male? 3%, 6%, or 9%?
Okay.
It always makes me think of Meet the Parents. Did you guys ever see that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have that answer at the end of the show.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back on the streak here, so
I know.
I'll do my best.
Yeah.
A lot of thinking.
That'll be a guess, won't it?
Educated.
Okay, well, hey, there we go. That's the best we can hope for. Okay, Tanner, tell us what's happening in sports this week.
Yeah, we got a few things to hit on this morning. First off, did you watch episodes, I guess would be 5 and 6 of The Last Dance.
I did.
What'd you think?
I'm enjoying every second of it.
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
You know, this is kind of the sweet spot of my sports upbringing, or these kind of time frames that we're talking about. I didn't really remember when Jordan came into the league. He was just really good when I became aware of things in the late 80s. And so it's been really fun, the flashbacks back and forth. 1998 is the year I graduated high school.
Okay.
Where sports, you know, I'm just totally into it, spending a lot of time watching it and things. And I was actually a Pacers fan. I am a Pacers fan, but I was rooting for the Pacers to actually beat the Bulls and not allow that third three-peat.
Got close.
It was a really close game. That was a tough one for me. But
I'm sure that's going to be highlighted soon, coming up.
I'm looking forward to that part.
I don't know what episode they're going to highlight it, but when they talk about the Jazz, they just got done doing John Stockton's part, literally like a week or two ago, to be in the documentary.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They said him and Reggie Miller were the hardest two for them to get.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, because I don't think either of them care for Michael Jordan too much.
Okay.
Or at least, because Stockton only agreed to do it if he could say what he wanted.
Wow.
And they said, no, that's what this is about. We want the truth, your feelings, and everything.
I wondered how closely guarded they were with these topics in interviews, but that's interesting that they were quite open. That say what's on your mind.
They certainly don't hold back when they talk about Isaiah Thomas.
No, not at all.
It feels like nobody likes him.
I know. Well, the part about the Dream Team and how he was mysteriously not selected.
I thought that was interesting, the Dream Team part, and then the part when they talked about Michael Jordan and his marketing, how he wanted to go to Adidas. Adidas said no. Just think what could have been for Adidas. I mean, Nike would definitely not be what it is today.
It was neat seeing all of that part, how the agent put that together and the kind of thoughts and ideas they had, being more like a tennis star or an individual sports star with the endorsements. That changed
everything.
Sports marketing landscape forever.
It did.
That's cool.
So,
great documentary.
Yeah, so episodes 7 and 8 are coming up this Sunday night.
So there are 10 total?
Yep, 10 total. And ESPN's already talking about these different documentaries. That will only be one or two episode ones that they're going to launch. Lance Armstrong one's coming up here soon. They're going to do one on Bruce Lee. They're going to do one on the home run chase in the summer of 98 or 99, whatever it was, between McGuire and Sosa. And then there's one more I can't think of that they're doing. So they're seeing some success with this, and now they want to roll out some more.
There's quite an appetite for sports stuff right now.
There
It's
are.
not being fulfilled.
Yeah, and speaking of that, of course we have the big Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady, Phil Mickelson golf match.
Yeah, what's that about?
It's officially set for May 24th from the Medalist. That'll be aired on TNT.
Okay.
For $10 million, all towards COVID-19 relief. So that's going to be neat.
I love it that they can put something like that together, and basically it's a donation from the advertisers to.
Yep.
That's neat.
Yep. I think Capital One's the main sponsor.
Okay.
I want to say. But then there's also another golf match that's going to be next weekend. This one was just announced last week. It's going to be Rory McIlroy and Dustin Johnson versus Rickie Fowler and Mathew Wolff. That's going to be live on the Golf Channel. That's going to play at Seminole Golf Club. And TaylorMade's a sponsor of that, and all these guys either played TaylorMade golf clubs or golf balls.
I see.
So that's how that got put together. And I think that's going to be for $5 million for COVID.
Wow, that's really neat.
So,
I'm sure there'll be a lot of viewers for both
I
those.
think so, because people are.
It's kind of cool they got the celebrities involved with
very
the Tiger
cool.
and Phil rivalry.
Yeah.
I feel that even non-golf fans are going to be watching just because it's sports.
Yeah.
I think so too.
And it was fun yesterday that Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Tiger, and Phil were on like a Zoom call, and they were doing some trash talking with each other. So go check it out on Twitter or Facebook if you haven't seen it. It's pretty entertaining. And then lastly, speaking of the NFL, we have two NFL notes here. Don Shula, NFL's all-time winningest coach, passed away this week at the age of 90. I mean, you could just go on and on with great things to say about him.
I've enjoyed some of the stories and information that has come out just because he was a little bit before my time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize, the Super Bowls that he won, and just some of those things. I just never really delved back into that history. So that was interesting. I enjoyed learning
The
a little
72
bit.
Dolphins are still the last undefeated team to win the championship. The 07 Patriots went undefeated but lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. So
Wow.
So the 72 Dolphins pop the champagne every year when the last undefeated team loses. And then the NFL schedule was released last night. They made a big deal about it. It was like a 3 or 4 hour show. It's kind of ridiculous trying to analyze a schedule that might not even happen 4 months ahead of time, but it gives all these sports analysts something to do and talk about. So it is kind of fun to go through and see, okay, who's my team playing, when are they playing.
What's the opening game?
The opening game will be Thursday night at Kansas City. It's Houston Texans at Kansas City.
Is that like a rematch for
Rematch
the
for the
playoffs?
playoffs. So
Oh, that'll be fun.
I did see the Colts and Bears play Week 4 in Chicago
Oh, good.
against each other.
I always like
So-
it when they play.
Yeah, every every 4 years, I guess they
Okay.
play. Yeah, because that'd be NFC North and AFC South. So yeah, I got a few tidbits here this morning. Not as many as usual. On this date, 1877, the Westminster Dog Show was first held.
1877?
1877.
Wow.
I thought it'd be early 1900s. I didn't think it was
Dog breeding was probably one of the first sports then, if I look at it that way.
probably right.
Yeah.
That's still going strong on TV
Yes,
every
it
year.
is.
So,
Yeah. Have you ever seen that mockumentary Best in Show? It's a quirky movie. It's like a fake documentary about a national dog show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you might want to check that out. Very funny.
And on this day in 1912, Paramount Pictures was founded, still going strong today. So
1912. That
Yeah.
may have been before sound.
yeah, exactly.
I
So
think it was.
yeah,
They
it's
were all the
I don't-
silent pictures,
Wow.
it had to be.
which don't work well for radio.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine attending one of those.
And today is National No Socks Day, World Donkey Day, Public Gardens Day, Iris Day, and Military Spouse Appreciation Day.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wore socks this morning.
I did too.
I
So
did too.
Okay, all right.
I
and
didn't
I
know
even knew
no
it was that
socks
day, and I
day.
still wore socks. Had it.
My kids are not.
Well, we have one good event coming up. That's actually tomorrow morning. The Friends of Fulton County Parks are giving away free trees.
Ah.
Yeah, you can get, there's a variety of choices too. I think they've got 400 trees. You can pick those up at the Prairie Edge Nature Park, which is the county park near the fairgrounds. And it looks like some of the varieties are black cherry, black walnut, red oak, white oak, and even some others potentially. So you got a spot in your yard, and teach your kids how
Sadly,
to
I don't.
plant a tree. You want to memorialize a special occasion. Those are good
Yeah.
reasons for that. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's awesome. Okay, flowers this morning. We'd like to give some flowers to our teachers, nurses in the hospital. We got Teachers Appreciation Week, Nurses Appreciation Week, and Hospital Week. A lot of things going on.
Yeah.
All these folks are doing a lot for our community, keeping it safe, educated, helping raise people up, build our culture, and we're very appreciative of all of those folks that are involved with that, and also our hospital. In money news today, the Dow Jones average has had a decent week. I think it's up about a little over 1% so far this week.
Yep.
And it's been so uncertain, but honestly, in the last month or so after it hit the bottom, it's come up quite a bit. I think it's up more than 20% again. So, interesting times. No one knows what to think of things.
Yep.
You can't really predict the future yet or give any future guidance from these companies. It's really vague, or they're not giving any at all, just because of all the uncertainty. So it's a strange time to be trading stocks and things in the market, but so far it's hanging in there. And actually, the Nasdaq, based on the finish yesterday, is positive for the year, which really surprised me. So it's that has kind of led today to have some good futures, thinking that the Nasdaq is all the way back positive. Nasdaq kind of tracks more of the tech stocks in general, so some of those companies have done well during all of this with all of the online services. So this morning there's a big jobs report. The expectation isn't good. 20 million lost jobs in the last month, and that's kind of, we've heard all the news all along, so that kind of fits with what we've been seeing. But there's been a lot of government support programs to help stem the tide of lost jobs, so this may be we may be close to a bottom on that also, and kind of moving, taking one step forward
That's good.
at a time with companies starting to get back up to speed in some capacity and beginning to kind of get the economy kind of grinding forward a little bit. So, and there are several states like Indiana, we mentioned earlier about the opening up plans. There's a lot of states that are starting those right now,
Oh yeah.
and we're going to learn and see what happens, but some really bold plans out there, and hopeful that those work out well. Hey, at First Federal, our lobby is still closed, but we're doing everything through the drive-through. So if you want to open a new account, you can give us a call. We'll do a lot of setup ahead of time, and you can roll right through, and we'll get the signatures from you and move on. Or we're even closing loans out in the parking lot.
Hey, there you go.
You just roll down your window. We're taking care of it.
Look at that.
So we're coming up with all different ways to do things carefully and safely and protect our customers and our employees, and things are working out really well. So I appreciate everyone's flexibility on that and the ability to adapt to the times and continuing to operate. It's been an interesting experience. Unprecedented times, you kind of come together as a team and work things out and figure it out, and that includes working with customers and kind of everyone figuring out a new way. So that's kind of exciting sometimes. We do have online www.firstfederalbanking.com. If you'd like to bank with us online, you can get statements, see your transactions, transfer between accounts. We have free online bill pay that you can make payments to for your bills. You can set those up automatic or pick what day you want them to pay. It's really convenient and doesn't take much time at all. Saves you some time. Our ATM's open 24/7. It's always got a lot of cash in it, Paul, in case you need some. Hey, right now, at First Federal, mortgage rates are really low. It's a great time to buy a home or refinance your current home. You can save some monthly interest, lower your monthly payment right now. Rates are below 4%, in the low 3% in some cases, or even maybe a little lower depending on your term. So contact Ben Dalton or Stacy Wilson in Rochester, and we can help you with some of those details and take a look at your situation. Or you can go to www.firstfederalbanking.com and click on Meet Our Loan Originators and check out our bios for all of our loan originators and contact them. And we do want to wish John Schaefer congratulations. He got a promotion this week.
Oh.
Normally we list John as someone you could contact for a mortgage. Well, now he's helping us out full-time with management, and he's always done that here in our Rochester branch, doing a great job with our branch facility. It's a big building. It was built in the 70s, and he knows every inch of that facility. Well, now he's going to be doing facility management for our whole bank, or all our branches.
Oh, wow.
We're excited about that opportunity for John, and he still oversees our construction lending programs. So come see us today. We'd love to see you. Like us on Facebook. Hello to our Facebook viewers. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and we have a YouTube channel with a lot of great information on it that Tanner keeps updated for us. We are the only locally owned bank in Fulton County, and we don't want to be the biggest bank, Paul, just the best.
And so far you guys have been to me.
Thank you. We are a member FDIC and equal housing lender, NMLS number 399927. Well, we are very pleased this morning to have Paula McKinney. Paula, come on up here.
All right.
The
Good
microphone.
morning, Evan.
Good morning. Paula, you're the Vice President of Patient Services at Woodlawn. Here, let me get your mic for you. There you go.
I got it. Thank you. Yes, I am.
And then you got some initials after your name, too, that I may not be familiar with. You've got a big job out there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
All right. Well, so I've been at Woodlawn about a year and a half now, a little over a year and a half. Came in September of 18. And those initials just mean that I'm got a lot of education. How's that?
That's
so
awesome.
I have a doctorate degree in nursing practice. I'm also certified as a nurse executive with the Board of Indiana. So that's all that means.
Hey, that's great. Well, it sounds like you got some real leadership opportunities out there.
Yeah.
Tell us some kind of a big picture of the kind of things that you oversee at the hospital and the things that you work on a
Okay.
weekly
Well,
basis.
so I have all the patient services. So that means all the nursing departments, but also all the other clinical departments. So diagnostic imaging, lab, pharmacy, all those areas, cardiopulmonary. Also have the quality department, risk, HIPAA compliance, those departments, the stroke program. So Just a barrage of things. Mr. Alley keeps me busy.
Yeah, I guess so. Is teamwork pretty important?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you got a lot of areas that need to communicate together properly.
We do. Teamwork is very important. You know, I've been in big hospitals and small hospitals, and I find that teamwork is really excellent in a smaller place because everybody knows everybody and everybody works well together. Bigger place, you know, you're just a face walking down the hall. But here at Woodlawn, I mean, everybody knows people's first names. Even me being there a year and a half, I know people by their first name. So
That's
we've
really
seen
comforting.
incredible teamwork lately because of this COVID virus. You know, it's very interesting what's going on in our country. So
How are some of the ways you guys are tackling some of the changes that have been going on out there?
yeah, well, you know, following the CDC guidelines, of course, what they're telling us to do, we've been phasing in things since the end of February. You know, to the point where we had visitor restrictions and, you know, having to wear masks just all over the building, not necessarily when you're providing direct care. So, and all of our team members there have been able to wear the mask. We've been able to keep our supplies going of that. But I do want to shout out while we've got the opportunity to just thank Woodlawn, community of Rochester, all the folks that have been giving us donations. People have been making masks, they've been making backpacks, they've been bringing in food. I wish I could say all of the businesses, restaurants, grocery stores, everybody that's been bringing things into the hospital employees to just say thank you. That's what they've been doing. I mean, even individual residents are making baked goods and bringing them in and just saying, we thank all the healthcare workers that have been, you know, helping take care of the patients and maintaining safety through this coronavirus. So.
Oh, that's incredible. Those are the kind of things that I love about a small town. You mentioned earlier just knowing names.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are all in a relationship business, and that's great to hear about Woodlawn. You know, we like to say, I just said it earlier, about First Federal. We're not the biggest, we're the best. And I think that probably applies to Woodlawn too.
Yeah.
The bigger you get, it is hard to make those connections and keep those stronger, but that's great to hear.
Yep. Great people work there.
Tell us about a little bit about this week. We mentioned earlier National Nurses Week, Hospital Week, and also today there's something special going on at Woodlawn.
Yeah, so Nurses Week, Hospital Week, we typically have a big celebration for Hospital Week, have a big cookout and everything. Because of the coronavirus, we've had to delay it. We've not canceled it. We're just going to delay it maybe in a month or so. But just to have some fun and build some spirit with our employees, we are having Superheroes Day. So, you know, I'm sure many of you have seen in healthcare, everybody's talking about how healthcare workers are superheroes. And, I mean, that's the maintenance people, the housekeepers, the dietary people, the nurses, the respiratory therapists. Everybody works together as a team to take care of patients. And so they're all superheroes. And so we're wearing our superhero t-shirts today. I have my Wonder Woman on.
I love it.
So we're having some fun with that. Another thing that we're going to be doing on Monday for just one of our Nurses Week celebrations is we've made a coronavirus piñata.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
It actually looks like the virus, and we're going to hang that out on our green terrace area, and then just let all the employees come out and take a whack at that coronavirus. We're going to whack it out of our hospital.
Boy, that sounds like good therapy, doesn't it?
It is, yeah.
I love that idea. That is awesome.
On that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So.
Did someone construct that piñata?
Yeah, we have one of our OB nurses that works up in the birthing center department. Her and her sister and her son are. I want to shout out to Alyssa for helping make
That's
that
so
piñata.
cool.
So
I love that.
It's going to be fun.
Well, definitely some reason for recognition for all the staff and the departments that you mentioned. You know, everybody's job has changed just a little bit with the current conditions that we're in. The adaptations and the extra communication required just to make sure that things are operating properly under these new conditions is immense, and I'm sure it's the same at Woodlawn. And
yes, it
so
is.
we're very grateful for the teamwork out there and the groups of people that are so dedicated and committed to providing this great care.
Now, I know you mentioned a little bit ago about the governor's, you know, plan
Yes.
of opening up, and of course we're doing that in healthcare as well. We're going to be opening up, being able to take more appointments for our physician practices and for our diagnostic imaging. If you've been, you know, postponing getting your mammogram, then we're going to be opening those appointments back up again. So
Is that coming like in a week or two, or just,
hopefully next week we're
That's
going to
great.
increase our numbers of appointments, and then the week after a little bit more. So we're going to be doing a gradual increase like all the other businesses.
That's great to hear. Now, one of those things that was on my mind was elective surgeries. I know I heard earlier on those were some things that maybe, I think the state wasn't allowing for a period of time. Is that back opened up, or how are those things working?
Yeah, so the governor has said, that you can have some elective surgeries, especially the ones that people have been putting off if they've been in great pain or suffering.
That's good.
We are leaving that up to the physician's discretion.
Okay.
It is really up to them whether they, in working with their patients, feel that the surgery is needed. So
Okay.
we're going to probably see an increase in some cases, I'm sure, because a lot of people have some, medical conditions out there that really warrant some treatment, and they've been delaying it.
I don't think that's been front of mind as just normal medical conditions in this time. We're thinking primarily about people affected by the virus, but you're right. That's interesting. I think it's kind of pushed off some of the regular things or the
Right.
needs maybe
Yes.
that people normally have had that aren't getting quite the attention.
Right. Yep.
Well, we're so lucky to have a local hospital. We do not take that for granted. Thank you, Paul, for coming in today to give us an update of what's going on out there. And thank you for everything you're doing, overseeing all those teams that are working together and taking care of our citizens in need.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me today. I'm really happy to represent the hospital.
We appreciate you very much.
All right. Well, listen, you tell your wife and your mother Happy Mother's Day.
I will, and happy Mother's Day to you.
Thanks, Evan.
Okay, that was great. Thank you, Paula. We are now at our trivia answer time, and I'm covering the answer, Paul.
Yeah.
What percent of nurses are male? Is it 3%, 6%, or 9%?
Now, if we were talking 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I'd
Interesting
probably
perspective.
say 3%, because you didn't used to see a lot of male nurses, but I feel that's become more acceptable and more seen. So I'm gonna go high and go 9.
Oh my gosh, Tanner,
I
you're
know.
correct.
Woohoo!
Paul, I love the thought process too. You
Mhm.
really laid that out for us.
Well, it all went back. Let's see, 10 years ago. My daughter spent a year and a half at Riley,
Wow.
and over 9% of the nurses in there were males. So that kind of helped that thought process.
I've heard so many great things about Riley Hospital as
Yeah.
well. Did you have that same experience?
Oh yeah,
The kids?
oh yeah.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that this morning.
Thank
You are correct. In 1970, that number was 2.7%, so it has been rising all along, as you said. Great job, Paul. Okay, we've got some words of wisdom this morning. This is from Thomas Macaulay, who's a British historian and a Whig politician. You might want to look that up on Wikipedia, in case you don't know what a Whig is. Good job, Tanner. Actually, this is from Dick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, the measure of a man's real character is what he would do if he knew he would never be found out.
Interesting.
Thanks for having us on the show, Paul. We enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Have a great weekend, and thank your mothers.
Yeah.
I mean, your mother. You probably only have one.
Well, mother-in-laws. Gotta
That's
include
right.
those too.
You're right.
All right, we'll see you guys next Friday.
Yep. See you later.